Welcome back to another episode of Twisted Barrel Outdoors. Today we have an MP-15. It's in a 5.56 model. It's you can shoot 223 or 5.56 out of it. Today we're shooting 5.56, and on top of this thing there's a sight mark. Let's see if I can get it in there. There's a sight mark scope. Has an infrared light on top. We're going to shoot a little bit after dark here to see how well it performs. But it's got a really cool digital part on top here. You turn it on, I'll be able to record through an SD card on the side of here. You'll be able to see everything I shoot. I'll put it on today as I'm sighting in. I sighted into 50, but I'm a hair high, so I'm gonna move the scope up to start with. This is where I left off the other day. I'm gonna shoot a bunch in the daylight here. Well, right now it's getting to the point where we probably only have a half hour to an hour left to dark, or till dark. So it's gonna be not like greatest light conditions. I'll show you how the scope works, and then I'll come back up here after dark. I'll put out some tin cans that I have up here, and we'll put them out at 50 and we'll shoot. Kind of go over the accuracy of the gun, but it's an AR platform, MP-15 night mark scope, and I'm curious to see how well it does. I shot it a little bit so far, and I really liked it. So I'm gonna set up in my Super Duty shooting bench here. Just a pair of shooting sticks and a chair, and I have a target out at 50, and I'm gonna put the scope on and shoot, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Thanks for watching. Safe on, safe, ear pro on. All right, send it 3 rounds downrange. Okay, 3 rounds, she's out, mag's open. Let's go see how well we did. So the other day I was shooting about roughly 2 inches high at 50 yards. Today I'm at 50 yards. I was shooting more or less just off a makeshift rest. So I'm hoping today is a little more sturdy, being that I actually have a set of shooting sticks and I'm in a little more comfortable environment. But I moved that up an inch, so I should have brought it down about an inch. It looks like I'm still close to 2 inches high. Let's see here. So 3-shot group. Oh, there you go. Cut a hole in that one. So 2 holes there, 1 hole up here. So not bad group. We'll take and move it up, and I'll just show you how easy it is to actually set this thing up. You're just going to go back. It has a double reticle on it whenever you go to zero the reticle. So you take it and adjust the red reticle to where your bullet hit, and then the black reticle will jump up and match it when you hit OK. It's really easy to zero in. I mean, I'll move this exactly where it's supposed to go, and if it zeroes in, I mean, this is going to be one of the easiest zeroing guns I've ever done. So I had a little bit of playing around the other day. I kind of got used to the features, but I got it pretty dialed in, I think. And we are on round 2 of sight in. 1 click, go to reticle settings. Reticle 0 needs to go up about 2 inches. Okay. And hit record. Empty mag. I know that M&P is not like the greatest AR platform gun. It's not known for like 1,000-yard excellence, but neither am I. And when we're talking about an infrared scope, you can possibly predator hunt or have fun with, or home protection, or whatever you plan on using an infrared scope for. I mean, this is one of the easiest sighting in scopes I've ever done. It's literally holding zero perfectly. I just shut the scope off overnight, put it back up, and I'm shooting the same exact zero I was. And I tell you what, you can't be mad at the results. I mean, so we got, I had one flyer. I'm pretty sure when we see it up here, but boom, boom. Now we're a little bit high at 100, or a little bit high at 50. I'm gonna walk this back out to 100 and we'll see what happens. All right, so round 3, 100 yards. We were zeroed about an inch to an inch and a half high at 50. Hoping this shoots well. Like I've said before, if these 100-yard shots aren't like perfect, I'm known for no excellence, and neither is the setup. So if these shots at 100 aren't perfect, I'm shooting off a single bipod, off a chair, 100 yards downrange with an infrared scope I've never used before, or a gun. So I would say the only thing I don't like about the M&P is the trigger pull. Other than that, not a bad gun. Okay, we're live. Rounds, safety's on, mag's out. I'm probably gonna get down here and this is gonna be trash, but like I said, not a perfect setup. I know I'm making excuses. Everybody's gonna be like, oh, you're making excuses. I'm out here trying to do my best. So 100 yards, that's not a bad sized target. 100 yards. If we hit anywhere close to that bottom left side of the target with as bad as I was shaking, I consider this a success. I tell you what, that M&P, the more I shoot it, not a bad AR. I'm not gonna lie. I like the AR. The scope, it seems weird, but it's just like you just kind of pull it up. You have it kind of set. And you just rock and roll with it. I mean, but oh, it did better than I thought it was going to. I had one flyer here. I cut all the holes that were already previously in it. I got one flyer here. I hit high here and here. So I'm going to say that being that this is at 50 and this is where my shot groups were at 50 right here. And then we moved out to 100 and I hit what would be 2.5 inches apart with a bipod. I mean, we're talking, if we're on a coyote's body, I'm 2.5 inches. If you look at it from this dot, that dot, that dot, and that dot. That's dead every time. And if I had shooting, I couldn't find my bipods. If I had my bipod or my tripod out here and I was really dialed in and I had a good setup, or if I was sitting on the ground and had a really good setup, I probably could dial them in a little bit more. Plus I'm freezing because it froze back down in PA again, and I just didn't wear a heavy enough coat. But right now, I'm super happy with that performance there. Like I said, we're shooting FMJ, Winchester, standard stock rounds, just nothing crazy out of it. Not a hunting round, not a performance round, just put it in the gun and pull the trigger around. Target round. I'm shooting off of a freaking lawn chair with a single pod. And I'm shooting a 4-inch group at 100. Yeah, I tell you what, if you were just hunting everything sub 100 with just the setup I had, it would definitely still do it. So stay tuned for the night. We're gonna do a little bit of night hunting here with just some tin cans. So stay tuned, and hopefully I can get some good shooting for that too. Thanks for staying tuned. We're back up here. We're heading towards the range. We're almost about, I don't know, 200 yards away. We're going to shoot one target at 25 and 2 targets at 50 yards. So this is going to be with just the red light and the infrared scope. This is like if you were predator hunting at night, this is what this setup would be. So you're going to get true live footage here of what this camera can do whenever you just use the red light they gave you. And it's got 3 settings, so I'm hoping at 25 it's not even a problem for it. So stay tuned. So this is the target here that I just took a shot at. I took a shot at before I started to scope. This is at 25 yards with the infrared scope. That's the first shot you're going to see. Okay, so let me explain to you what just happened. I put 3 shots in the gun. I went out and shot the first shot at the pie pan at 25 yards. I cracked it, which is the lower shot of here. Turned the scope on, came back up, cracked it again a second time with the recording, and then I went out. I could not find those targets in the scope. I got 2 factors going against me really badly. One, it's snowy out, so everything wants to reflect and nothing actually wants to pick up the light. And 2, whenever I scoped out to 50 yards, the weather is like a little bit flurry, and the snow flurries were definitely affecting it. But whenever I turned the pie pan to where it reflected off camera, which would eye shine, like if you were going out for predator, I cracked, which is right here. Actually, I think it was sitting this way. I cracked that one dead center. And these pie pans are only 8x8. This is flared out because I pulled it out of the ground. I ripped it open a little bit, but it normally sits kind of like this guy here. So the MP-15, good shooting gun. The scope held 0 wonderfully. Could shoot in the daylight easily. I think the only thing you're going to have trouble with is if you don't upgrade the flashlight on top of the gun. There's the flashlight on top of the gun. I don't think it's great for weather like this. I think if you want to cut the snow, I think you're going to have to upgrade the flashlight a little bit. But if you want to just go out and flip that red light on and be good to, if you had eye shine at 50 yards, you could make the animal out pretty easy. You should be able to see it whenever I do the scope cam. You should be able to see that you can see the red light at 50 yards. Like, it's not terrible. I think you could definitely shoot a critter tonight up to 50 yards. But anything past 50, if you didn't have something telling you it was there, I think you would have a really hard time seeing it. Now, if you're running infrared scanners and then flip the red light on and we're pushing the limits of a red light, I think you could see this thing. I think you could see stuff plain as day. But that's a no-glow red light that's on top of that. Whenever you're in front of it, there is no glow in front of you. You can point it right at snow. And unless you're at the end of the gun barrel, you can't see any red remnants at all. So, in my honest opinion, I think this is a 50-yard setup, unless you get a better light. But as far as the scopes work phenomenal for me. And as far as shooting in the daylight up to 200 yards, if you can see it with the naked eye at 200, you definitely could shoot it with that pretty easy. It's only a 4 power, so you're not going wicked crazy with it. But the M&P performed great. The green tip Winchesters performed great. The scope performed great, and 75% of what I wanted to do. I just wanted to shoot 50 tonight, and as you can obviously see, 50 is a doable shot. So 50 yards when you're hunting predator, if you're in close quarters, I guarantee you could have seen a coyote out there. Hopefully the scope cam picks it up as well as I could see it. I even played with the focus a little bit to try to get it better and worse, and then I pulled my shot. So thanks for watching. All in all, probably I would rate it 3 out of 5. So thank you.